Tonight we have a look behind one of America's most important polls based right in our own backyard. Over the past 2 decades, can't be argued that the Quinnipiac Poll has added to that university's national prominence.
The school's polling institute is a huge operation employing more than 150 people. News 8's Keith Kuntz went behind the numbers to get an inside look at the QU poll.
In a business where being right is paramount, Quinnipiac University's poll is among the most accurate and widely quoted in the nation.
If the election for president were being held today.
Since its launch in the late 1980s, the QU poll has grown meteorically. In those early days, it was limited to tri-state area politics. Today, Quinnipiac University polls are prominent in national elections and in political contests and issues in key swing states like Ohio and Florida.
Is your opinion of Charlie Crist favorable, unfavorable, or haven't you heard enough about it?
But it's not all politics. Polls are also taken on a range of topics, from opinions about the new pope to much lighter subjects like Connecticut's favorite baseball team, the Red Sox, Yankees, or Mets, with the same level of detail given to each survey.
We poll over several days because we want to work hard to get the hard-to-reach people.
The people asking those questions, collecting all that critical information, are both students and non-students. All of them, like QU senior Chauncey Coleman, go through a 2-hour training program before they ever make real calls.
It is pretty set in stone what we have to say to them and what we have to ask them so that they are comfortable answering and that they clearly know how to answer the question. Once trained, polling institute workers read scripted questions in both English and Spanish.
¿Está usted o alguna persona en su casa actualmente en las Fuerzas Armadas?
Respondents are then given a list of possible answers from a computer screen in front of them. An average call typically takes anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes.
I remember the first time I made my first phone call, I was scared, but then after you did your first survey, it all just kind of flows together.
And this phone bank is up and running 7 days a week, and at any given time, as many as 150 people might be working here. And on any given night, as many as 30,000 phone calls could come out of this room. Unlike many polls, every call made by Quinnipiac comes from a real person. In other words, no robocalls. Collecting accurate data is a process. Managers tell me it could take up to 15,000 phone calls to generate 1,000 completed surveys. Why so many calls? What directors call bad numbers from businesses, fax machines, or disconnected numbers.
We don't use phone books, right? Phone books, you miss the unlisted, so we have to randomly generate the phone numbers.
And the stakes are high. Media organizations rely on QU's polls to gauge public opinion. In the political arena, critical financial backing candidates rely on could rest on polling data.
We're always paying really close attention, and we really care about getting it right. So if you've got a really close race, that can put extra gray hair on me.
Now, 2 decades in and counting, the QU poll continues to measure public opinion 1 phone call at a time.
It definitely gets you comfortable with talking on the phone to people. So now I have other jobs where I have to call people or I have to answer a phone call, and I might have been a little bit more shy before, but now that I do it all the time here, it definitely makes me more comfortable.
In Hamden, Keith Kuntz, News 8.